Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I am really excited to talk about a topic that I talk about a lot in my teaching, really to everyone. It comes up a lot. It's sort of like this common theme with yoga, meditation, and mindfulness practices. This theme of thoughts and judgment, and our thoughts and our judgments. I have my notes in front of me, so if I'm not looking directly at you, thank you for understanding. So as humans, our minds discern. Like, our minds can be really useful. They tell us when something is hot, right? Not to touch like a hot stove. They tell us when there's danger, what's safe. They tell our minds, inform us what is a safe or a healthy partnership, what is an unhealthy partnership. Now, that's not to say we don't sometimes ignore those messages from our mind, but that's sort of like when our minds are super useful is discerning, right? Like safe, not safe, healthy relationship, not such a healthy relationship, that kind of thing. If you have questions, please write them in the comments. So I just want to clarify that. Like, our thoughts and our mind is an extremely useful and important tool. And I am not a professional on how our brains work, how our minds work, but I'm just touching on a sort of general topic of our thoughts and more specifically our judgments. We tend to categorize things. We tend to judge good versus bad. And after watching this video, I encourage you not to try to, you don't have to change anything or like fix anything, right? But just notice how often you do that, right? Whether it's like, this food is good, this food is bad. This part of my body is good, this part of my body is bad. It goes like the list. People, we do it all the time, right? We're judging people. So we're in this constant state of judgment about not only the world around us, but about ourselves. It's really hard to not be judgmental about ourselves if we're constantly judging others. And when we're judging ourselves, we're seeing things that are like just facts, just information. And I'm going to speak specifically to the body and body image. This applies to more than just body and body image, but I'm using the example today of, I have cellulite. I'm sure a lot of people that listen to this, women and men too, may have cellulite, or whatever it is about your body that's at some point in your life you learned was bad or wrong, or you needed to fix or get rid of. Okay, building on the last video about like, you don't need to fix anything. This ties into it. You see, all these videos are related. They like talk to each other. So I have cellulite, and for the longest time, I think when I first discovered it, I was a teenager, maybe it was even before that, I learned from, nobody said to me, you have cellulite, that's bad, you need to change it, but I would receive these messages, whether it was about cellulite or whatever, that were supposed to break down our bodies and what's good and what's bad. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you love? What do you want to fix or change? So when I dig deep to understand the meaning that I've applied to it, the meaning is that cellulite is bad. And that comes from stories our society tells one another, that we as women and men too have adopted these truths. So things like cellulite, they're not inherently bad. We make them bad by staying in this belief system. Another example, I used to think that having big feet was bad because it meant that I had bigger feet than most people, including men that I dated, and I had this belief that being bigger in any way than any person that I was with, any man that I was with, was bad, was wrong, was not right. And why did I believe this? Maybe some guy told me, like pointed it out to me. maybe because society, there's messages that we get through media, that probably has something to do with it. But ultimately, okay, and this is the main point I'm trying to get to. Ultimately, it's my responsibility to sort of redefine the way that I look at certain things about my body. And, you know, I invite you to do the same. If we keep blaming other people around us, we're not going to shift that mindset. We're not going to shift those beliefs until we take on the responsibility ourselves of, all right, if I'm constantly judging other people, then chances are I'm probably being a pretty harsh critic on myself. So the responsibility is really on me. I adopted a belief. I made it my own. I threw judgment at my body, my feet, my cellulite, my thighs, my stomach. I acknowledged that, and then I started to shift more to a mindset of acceptance, a mindset of neutrality about the way that I saw my body. So this state of judgment, it stuns us. It makes us feel stuck. It's like a never-ending cycle where we change one thing, but then we always find something else. So it's like a state of lack, of not enough. If you follow me? So, not saying that you have to make this change right away, but just start to notice, how often do you sort of participate in that judgmental state of mind? If that makes sense, please ask your questions. Please post observations, feedback, thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will be back with another video tomorrow.